This video contains massive spoilers for the true ending and the true final boss fight in Silent Hill F. Greetings, I'm NeonSlice, and today I'm going to be showing you how to get the Godslayer achievement in Silent Hill F. This achievement is seemingly one of the hardest achievements in the entire game, and it might sound a little bit daunting to actually get, but today I'm going to be showing you how to do it. Before we talk about a strategy though, what exactly is the Godslayer achievement? Well, the Godslayer achievement requires you to beat both the Tsukomogami and the Kyubi in under 10 minutes of starting the fight. Yes, that's right, you have 10 minutes to fight these two bosses. Now, what is the Tsukomogami and Kyubi? Well, the Kyubi is the nine-tailed fox, and the Tsukomogami is the yokai, or the doll, that seemingly helps you throughout your journey in Silent Hill F. Well, the only way to unlock this fight is by getting the Ebisagoka ending. So the Ebisagoka in Silence ending. I have a full playthrough, and actually 4-hour-long video on showing you how to get that ending. So if you want to know how to get that ending, check that out. Alternatively, you can just check out my ending guides, which only takes about like 10 minutes to watch. Anyway, so yeah, that's right, you have to defeat 2 of these bosses at the end of the Ebisagoka in Silence ending before the final cutscene, and you have to do that in under 10 minutes. Now, of course, the fastest way of doing this is actually beating the game in the story combat difficulty. So yeah, the first step for the strategy is to start on story difficulty. That's my biggest advice. It makes everything a lot easier. But trust me, it is not as easy as it seems, because you still have to deal damage to these bosses. Even though they don't deal that much damage to you, you still have to deal enough damage to defeat them. So today I'm gonna try my best at explaining to you how I beat them. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, so you don't have to tell me in the comments, I absolutely sucked in this video, okay? I am very bad at this game, so you don't have to tell me, alright? Anyway, so the battle starts with the blue nine-tailed fox, which I guess is the evil fox spirit that was possessing Kotuyuki, who happens to be the fox mask guy. Now, I 100% recommend you run the Suzuran Omamori. That way you are able to perfect dodge a lot easier. If you're able to, also run the Tanuki Omamori, which allows you to transform your focus bar or your sanity bar into armor. That means you will not take damage as long as you have focus or sanity. So bring in a bunch of drinks that reset your sanity. Now, the second phase of the fight starts with the Tsukumogami. During this phase, you will not have your fox arm. Instead, you will have regular weapons. So before this battle, I recommend you collect at least 3 knives or sickles. The knife and sickle are the best weapons in the game. So the Tsukumogami is very, very difficult because it gets away from you and then does the step like that. When you see the step, when you see the wave coming towards you, press circle or dodge at the correct time. This is why I recommend the Suzuran Omamori, which will allow you to perform perfect dodges a lot easier. You know, transform your sanity into armor, or perhaps anything that allows you to perform a counter after dodging. Those are the 3 best things you can run in this fight. Now, the Tsukumogami, after you deal enough damage, you will switch back to the Kyubi. Now, the best weapon to use against the Tsukumogami is the knife, or smaller weapons. Anyway, so on the second phase of the fox will actually spawn in shadow enemies. You have to take out these shadow enemies before you start dealing damage to the fox. So once again, once you see those black figures, run towards them and defeat them. Now, I don't recommend you use your ultimate attack here with the fox arm against the black dolls that you see here, the enemies, the dark enemies. Save your fox attack for the Kyubi, because this form will allow you to deal a lot more damage. So I'm going for a combo of 3 R1s and then R2. So light attack, light attack, light attack, and then heavy attack. Once you deal enough damage, the battle will switch back to the Tsukumogami fight. This time, the Tsukumogami will be using its bow. Now, there is another achievement here that you can get by dodging every single arrow. It's a bit difficult, but you can do it with the Suzuran Omamori, which allows you to perfect dodge. As you can see right there, I got hit, so I couldn't do it on this playthrough, but you had to time it perfectly. So the Tsukumogami will also do a rain of arrows move, which is dodged by just running. I honestly just recommend you sprint horizontally when you see the arrows coming towards you. And yes, I am using the sickle or knife to deal the most damage. As you can see here, I'm dodging perfectly and then countering with a knife, and this deals massive damage. Don't even bother using the sword. But if the sword is the best weapon you have, go ahead and use it. But before this fight, you need at least 3 sickles or 3 knives. In the second half of his second part, he will start throwing projectiles that are marked with these bubbles that come out of the ground. So you want to dodge those perfectly. Once again, this fight is very dodge heavy. You have to have that Suzuran Omamori equipped because you have to perfect dodge. And once again, I'll repeat myself, but you want to learn how to perfect dodge so you can perform those counters with that Omamori. On the third phase, the Kyubi will now have a one-shot attack. So if you're playing on hard difficulty or Lost in the Fog difficulty, whenever you see the fox kind of like getting its distance, not like this, or it starts vibrating, get ready to dodge because it will deal fatal damage. I was playing on an easier difficulty, so it didn't one-shot me. So I recommend you fully upgrade yourself before you try this fight. Now, this time the fox will deal damage from afar as well. When it barrows its, tails, it will summon these pillars that you have to stay away from. Once again, you have to take out the dark enemies here. Otherwise, the fox will deal fatal damage to you. So you have to take those black enemies out before you start dealing damage to the fox again. So rush them first and then start, restore your focus or your sanity with drinks such as kutsu tea and other things like that. Once you deal enough damage, the fox will go down and it's time to fight the Tsukomogami one last time. So there are 3 faces seemingly to each of these bosses. So 3 faces for the fox and 3 faces for the Tsukomogami. So this version of the Tsukumogami, the final version of it, is the most relentless one. So once again, you are going to have to master the perfect dodges. Now, once again, I suck at this and I was able to do this. Once again, use the knife. If you have any Omamori that allow you to lose lesser ability, use that. Anyway, once the screen goes black and white like this, prepare to perfect dodge when it charges up an attack. When you see it charge up an attack like that, get ready to dodge. Now, the Tsukumogami will start charging up an attack by raising its arrow to the sky and then teleporting towards you and dealing AoE damage. When you see the red sky like this, it means it will start doing more relentless attacks, such as either the rain of arrows or spamming its spears. Over here, you can see it has several arms, so it's a little bit difficult to telegraph. So you want to learn how to perfect dodge. Unlike me, I really sucked. But once again, just deal a lot of damage as fast as possible. And like there you go. I rushed him. I used sickles and I used the knife to do this. The knife and the sickle are the best weapons in this game. And that's basically how I did it. Essentially, if you're a bit confused on how I did that, just play on the easiest difficulty, on story combat difficulty. And that's exactly what you should be doing. And I guess you can do another playthrough later and play it on the hardest difficulty to experience the boss fight at its fullest. Anyway, that's how I did it. Personally, I think that's a very cool boss fight, and it's worth doing the ending just for the story, to be honest. But anyway, I wanted to share with you my first time. This is actually an excuse to just show you my first time beating these 2 bosses. And even though I messed up a little bit, I managed to beat the game on normal difficulty. And I am currently working on doing this boss battle in Lost in the Fog. And trust me, you do not want to try this. It is incredibly impossible. You get 2 hit and it's over. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a rushed one because honestly I just wanted to show you this video, and that's all I have the time for today. So don't forget to leave a like, check out my other guides. I have some really good guides, some really fun videos and playthroughs. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Also, let me know, did you think these boss battles were difficult? I really want to know. Anyway, I'll see you next time.